In today's video, those of you who are already familiar with the channel will be experiencing a completely different type of video than the ones previously seen here. If you're a viewer who enjoys Iceberg videos and is visiting for the first time, you're going to really like what you're about to see. For those who are not familiar with game Icebergs or icebergs of any specific theme, it basically consists of a video where I will be showing you various mysteries in a well-organized way in terms of things known and unknown. In other words, everything that is more well-known will be on the surface of the iceberg, while theories or completely unknown mysteries will be at the bottom of the iceberg, completely submerged in the dark, empty, hidden. Got it? This iceberg here will have 6 levels, and in these 6 levels, I will bring you from the most well-known mysteries and secrets on the surf all the way down to the deepest part with mysteries that most likely almost no one has seen or knows about. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this video, so you don't need to hit the like button now, you can do that later. Having said that, without further ado, let's get started. Level 1. Let's start here on the surface talking about a very well-known mystery, which is the abandoned mine. The abandoned mine is a true mystery in GTA 5. This mine has 2 mysteries in total. It is a mine located under a mountain with a wooden door that we can blow up to enter. When the mine is first opened, we can enter and find a corpse that is directly linked to a mission. The name of the corpse is Isaac and is related to a secondary investigative mission in the game that we can unlock and complete after passing a part of the main story. You can complete this mission after completing the meltdown mission in the main story. Well, for that, we must pass through locations in the game following a series of clues that you can see on the walls or in some places. And we can discover, as I am showing you, that every time we find a clue, a sound will be heard in the game. A sound will be unlocked in the game that will help us understand that we are following the steps of this mission correctly, and so we will continue looking for the clues in an orderly manner. As I show you, after finding 4 graffiti text on walls, we head to the sea to find the first corpse of this side mission. This first corpse is in the sea, right next to Fort Zancudo, very close by, and when we find this corpse, we will also hear a noise to make sure it is part of the mission. After you find the first corpse underwater, you enter Solomon Richards' movie studio. That's right, you'll be able to go in there. Once inside, you will find a letter explaining in more detail what happened and why the murders occurred. Finally, to complete the mission, we will go to the abandoned mine, and once there, we can see the second corpse. After seeing the second corpse, which is Isaac, we will unlock his contact, which would be Dead Isaac. By calling Isaac once, we will acquire a vintage filter in the game, calling twice will make it black and white, and dialing the number for the 3rd time will remove the effect and the game will return to normal. The second unresolved mystery inside this mine, which still has no explanation, is the fact that once you enter the mine, besides the corpse on the ground, you can hear strange sounds of footsteps or movements inside the mine. This would only confirm that in some way, the abandoned mine is truly haunted and is possibly one of the most visible and easily found paranormal areas in the whole game. The Mount Chiliad mural. The Mount Chiliad mural has long been the main mystery of GTA 5, possibly the largest area in the game with paranormal activity recorded by myth and legend hunters in the GTA 5 community. There are many mysteries on this mountain, but let's focus on the most important one, the mystery that drove the community crazy, especially in 2013, 2014, and 2015. I'm talking about the stone mural that exists on Mount Chiliad. Initially, it was believed that this mural was intentionally placed to uncover a secret that would lead us to the jetpack, as well as clues and locations to try to find the jetpack or an alien egg. The alien egg has also never been found, at least not in story mode. In GTA Online, after completing 600 bunker missions, there is a mission where you can retrieve the alien egg and find a crashed UFO. This UFO has never appeared in the story before, so it's a new and completely destroyed UFO. However, this mission only appears once, and the alien egg was also found as an Easter egg on the Cayo Perico Island, and in another mission where it can be found inside a train in GTA Online. The jetpack has also never been found in story mode, having a very similar fate to the alien egg that was meant to be used in GTA Online missions. The jetpack appears in the Doomsday DLC. After the source code leaks in 2022, we were able to confirm that this mural was indeed part of a DLC that was planned for GTA 5 called Agent Trevor, but was discarded due to the success of GTA Online. A large part of this DLC was used for the Doomsday DLC in GTA Online. It's really a shame, and we will talk more about these DLCs a little later. However, the conclusion of the Mount Chiliad mural after this leak really reached an interesting point. If you look at the image, you will see at the top the eye that sees everything, which can also be interpreted as a UFO, but we can be sure that it is a drawing of an eye, because if we go to the top of Mount Chiliad, we can see an eye drawing underneath the observation area, along with the phrase, "Come back here when your story is complete." The second part to be deciphered on the mural are 5 squares marked with an X inside them. Each square represents an image drawn on this mountain, and out of these 5 images, 3 give hints for you to see a UFO at the top of the mountain. In one of the images, we can see the Allseeing Eye plus a rain drawing, and in another image, we can basically see the same thing with a moon drawing, meaning the moon represents night and rain represents rain. If you add this to the text written at the top of Mount Chiliad telling you to come back after completing the story, just follow the instructions. So after completing 100% of GTA 5 and coming to this location in the rain at night, I believe between 2 and 3 in the morning, you can see a UFO hovering over the mountain and emitting a light from underneath it. This light is represented in another drawing on the mountain, confirming that these drawings on the mountain are actually clues on how to see the UFO from Mount Chiliad. And with that, we have already uncovered the Allseeing Eye at the top of the mural, the 5 squares marked with X, and the UFO drawing that can be found at the bottom next to the jetpack and the alien egg that, despite being planned as DLC for story mode, were included only in online mode. Bigfoot was probably the biggest urban legend in the GTA saga, as the internet was flooded with mods of sounds and images, even with missions involving Bigfoot in GTA San Andreas, but it was all mods. So from my point of view, as a form of fan service, Rockstar decided to include a Bigfoot mission that is only unlocked after you complete 100% of the game. In this mission called The Last of the Species, we have to hunt down Bigfoot, and after cornering him, we see that in fact Bigfoot is a guy in a costume trying to live out his rare and eccentric fantasies, causing even Franklin to be shocked, as crazy as it seems. However, this does not completely rule out the theory that Bigfoot exists, as it was discovered in the mission where we capture the last O'Neill brothers that when we are hunting them with thermal scope, we can briefly see Bigfoot's heat signature. However, this Bigfoot disappears, which makes the community believe that there really is a Bigfoot in the game and that he lives hidden. In addition, we can see a great evolution of Bigfoot in the GTA franchise, as he was a myth in GTA San Andreas and now he is part of the game culture in GTA 5 with clothing stores named Yeti, t-shirts with Bigfoot prints, and to show how this is really ingrained in society, there is an image of Bigfoot within the flag within the Los Santos logo, showing that he has truly become 100% rooted in society, no longer as a myth but as part of the player's culture, the universe of GTA 5. Killer Clown. In the side mission called Legalize Now, which is the marijuana mission, it's the only mission in the whole game where we will have a visible contact with clowns, although all these killer comedians are a product of Trevor's hallucination and psychological trauma with these clowns. It's important to note that it's like a mystery, since this is the only mission where these characters appear physically. In the only part of the game where we can observe a clown van, which cannot be obtained in the game in a traditional way, around this mission the biggest mystery is that these killer clowns explode after being killed by Trevor, and to this day we don't have an explanation and we don't know what these mysterious explosions are due to. Aliens are a real and proven mystery in GTA 5. In fact, GTA 5 is the GTA that has confirmed to us the most that aliens are present in the game, both physically and in their respective flying saucers. There are a total of 4 UFOs found so far in the game, with 3 of them appearing at specific locations and altitudes in the game after completing 100%, and the 4th flying saucer is at the bottom of the ocean, visible at any time during the story. The theory is that the aliens are actually the ones ruling over San Andreas because of the eye at the top of Mount Chiliad. Additionally, there are various alien drawings throughout the desert and several references to the Illuminati across the map, which I will also show throughout this video. In addition to the presence of an alien egg in the game's internal files, which has not yet been found in story mode, there is also a frozen alien in North Yankton in the first mission of the game in the prologue. It is also believed that the aliens rule over San Andreas because the frozen alien looks exactly like the costumes used in movies to simulate aliens, giving the impression that humans know the real appearance of aliens. The aliens appear in the prologue mission, as well as in the missions Legalize It and Did Somebody Say Yoga, when Michael is drugged by Jimmy, abducted, studied, and then released by the aliens afterwards. And since Michael was high, it's hard to say for sure if he was actually abducted or not. What we can be sure of is that we see their appearance exactly like the costumes that humans wear. So yes, aliens are in society, but it's hard to know to what extent they are. Level 2, the Altruist. The Altruists are also a real and proven mystery in GTA 5. They consist of a religion of lunatic cannibals who believe that the world has gone rotten since the arrival of the millennials. Therefore, they seek to destroy everyone and take refuge in Mount Chiliad in a highly guarded complex. To do the missions of this sect, you must bring hitchhiker victims with Trevor that can be found in random events. They will be sacrificed in the name of this religion, and after Trevor takes 3 hitchhikers, we will participate in a side mission in which we will also be kidnapped by them. This way, we can see part of their ritual and kill all the crazies, leading us to earn a large sum of money spread across 4 suitcases of $25,000 each. The place that involves the most mysteries of this sect is a cave located right below the main camp, where we can witness some satanic rites that the sect uses to carry out their massacres, all in the name of a symbol of a sun, or the All-Seeing Eye. To make this mystery even stranger, it is possible to access a page of the sect where we will find a curious message written in Morse code that has already been deciphered, basically telling us the commandments of this sect about their worship and plans for revolution and human cannibalism. This sect is similar to the Epsilon Program, but much more macabre, satanic, and disturbing. The altruistic sect is one of the best mysteries of GTA 5, and yet few people know how deep it goes. Leonor Johnson. A mystery that has been widely debated in the community and sparked heated discussions was who killed Leonor Johnson. Leonor Johnson was a movie actress who was on the brink of stardom in her youth. Actually, she was already a bit famous. She was brutally murdered at the hands of a millionaire psychopath. Playing as Franklin, we can find 50 letter scraps with clues about the murder, and gathering all these scraps will help us unravel the mystery of who the actress's true killer was. The letters were written by a man named Peter Dreyfuss. Additionally, he also wrote and sent letters to Leonora's family after killing her, in order to taunt and torment the family with the brutal fate the actress had at the hands of this psychopath. The mystery appears on a game website called Who Killed Leonor Johnson, where we can find very brutal images of her body completely dismembered by the killer who raped, tortured, and killed her for mere pleasure and amusement. If we collect the 50 pieces of Dreyfuss's letters scattered throughout the map, we can find his whereabouts and solve the mystery by engaging in a small pursuit where the player can decide whether to seek justice on their own or to set the psychopath free. After this mission, the truth about Peter Dreyfuss will be broadcasted on the game's radio and news channels, hinting that after Franklin discovers the truth, he reveals it. Jolene Cranley, the Ghost of Mount Gordo. Very well known in GTA 5 as the Mystery of the Mountain Ghost or the Mystery of Mount Gordo, it is one of the most famous and also proven mysteries in GTA 5. It was one of the first mysteries to be discovered. If you come to this mountain area between 11 p.m. and midnight, you may see a specter or a ghost that manifests itself in a corner of the mountain very close to you falling even. You will also hear very scary noises and screams from this same ghost that suggest the screams of the person when they were murdered. If we get too close, the ghost may disappear depending on the version of GTA 5 you are playing, and it is correct to say that the ghost is also completely harmless. It will never attack the player. When this ghost was discovered, the mystery turned into a community's insane quest for answers to know the truth about who the ghost was. Sometime later, the truth behind this mystery was uncovered. If you look closely at the place where the ghost appears, you may notice the name written in blood, which is Jock. Upon further investigation of the mystery, we see that the ghost woman is Jolene Cranley, the deceased ex-wife of the Los Santos movie actor named Jock Cranley, who is now running for governor. It is this actor that the old crazies end up mentioning when Trevor comes for the first time. According to a piece of the investigation newspaper that can be found on the Leonor Johnson website, everything happened on an afternoon in 1978 while Jolene and Jock were on the cliff and Jolene fell. It was a horrible accident, but the truth is that Jock intentionally pushed her off the cliff, killing her. They say Jock killed Jolene because she did not approve of them moving to Los Santos and that it could ruin Jock's career, so he killed her. This news can be read in a newspaper in the desert, thanks to which the great mystery was solved. In addition to this newspaper in the desert, you can also see this on one of the tabs of the pages of Who Killed Leonor Johnson. You can see there the name in blood on the rocks or blood on the mountains, something like that. By staying there, you will also have access to this article. There is no reward for solving the mystery, and as far as we know, Jock continues to roam freely after having killed Jolene. The Epsilon Program or Epsilon Program. The Epsilon Program is a cult of crazy scammers who wear light blue clothes and tunics. Rockstar created real websites in our world that encourage you to join the cult in a fictional way in the game, of course. In this cult, they serve a god named Kiflam, and their leader and guide is Chris Formage, apparently the founder of the cult. This cult is a parody of a real-life cult called Scientology. In GTA 5, we have the possibility to join this cult with the character Mike through a series of side missions that consist of various crazy things ranging from vehicle thefts to running miles in the desert wearing a tunic. If we do everything right and choose the correct ending, we will have the chance to earn $2 million in the end and even outsmart Chris. The mystery of this cult in GTA 5 lies in the fact that the logo of the cult can be seen on the Los Santos shield, and it is believed that practically a large part of the population of Los Santos, including its governments, belong to or are heavily influenced by this cult, with part of Los Santos embracing the doctrine as its only religion. The Epsilon Program is present in large parts of the game, and it is believed that they have a connection with the aliens themselves, ruling San Andreas together. The cancelled DLCs. In December 2022 or 2023, I can't remember for sure, the source code of GTA 5 leaked, revealing various information about the game that never made it to the public eye. The most viral information was about the hints of DLCs that were supposed to be released for GTA 5's story mode over the years, but never saw the light of day: Assassination Pack, Manhunt Pack, Norman Pack, Agent Trevor, Relationship Pack, Enterprise Pack, Prologue DLC, Libert V DLC. Among these, the ones that stood out the most were the Prologue DLCs, which probably would have shed some light on the time when Michael betrayed Trevor and Brad, revealing how things got to that point or what happened afterward. The Liberty V DLC, which likely involved carrying out missions in Liberty City, and the DLC that had the most information in these files, which is the Agent Trevor DLC, mentioning the jetpack and the artificial intelligence Clifford. This clearly indicates that the GTA Online Doomsday DLC is clearly an adaptation of what the Agent Trevor DLC would have been. Level 3. Racist Police. Racist Police are a possible Easter egg that we can see with Franklin, who is the black character in the game. He usually at least receives a lot more insults and swearing than the other two players, who are Michael and Trevor. In addition, the police will often inexplicably attack Franklin, or at least do so more frequently than they would with Michael or Trevor, even though he is not doing anything to acquire a wanted level. For the other players, racism was included in the game as a nod to what happens in real life. Supposedly, there is a dialogue from a police officer in GTA 5 who says he only listens to white rappers. I couldn't find this dialogue or any audio on the internet. If I find it, I'll put it in the description or comment. According to Myth Hunters, racist police in GTA 5 are real, but according to Rockstar, if I'm not mistaken, there was a big backlash in the beginning when it started blowing up on the internet about racist police. Rockstar ended up issuing a statement where they said that this kind of racism does not exist in the game. It may be that it exists and that Rockstar will deny it to the end to avoid lawsuits or other similar things. Lights at Fort Zancudo. Fort Zancudo is the largest military base in GTA 5. Basically speaking, it's so restricted that it doesn't even show up on the map. So as soon as you enter Fort Zancudo, you get a 4-star wanted level and everyone in the army will try to kill you, even with tanks, something that only happens inside Fort Zancudo. It's said by several players that experiments with extraterrestrials are carried out at this location, which is why a mystery was discovered years ago that if you manage to enter the base at midnight and climb on top of this roof, you can find a mysterious green light coming from the sky. This light starts around midnight and increases until it reaches its peak at 3 AM. By 4 AM, this light mysteriously disappears, and the strangest thing is that the light has no visible origin to the naked eye. Not even with mods can we find the source of this light. Much higher in the sky, it's possible to find a UFO, which very possibly could be what is generating the green light at Fort Zancudo. However, there's no way to be sure, because if you climb on a flying saucer at the same time, you will see that the light is not coming from it, and if you try to approach the saucer, you will see that there is interference in any vehicle you're using besides throwing you away if you fall on top of the saucer. So you can't be sure where these lights are coming from, hence the indication that it's exactly where these lights are and experiments are being conducted under this location. But what is most interesting about this location where the lights appear is that underneath it there is an area that supposedly should be accessible, but when checking with mods and etc, nothing was found, at least nothing until recently. Some images of an underground base that would be in development for this area of the map surfaced on Reddit, but it was never used. This area had not been discovered before because in all versions of the game released, it had already been removed from the files. This Reddit user says that he was able to find this map in a version of GTA 5 prior to the one that came out on the market. This version of GTA 5 is a development version that he found in a dev kit for PS3. So this guy got access to the version before the one that was released for PS3, and that's how he found this map. With these images, it is possible to have more certainty that there would initially be a secret base there at that location in Fort Zancudo, and that the lights pointing to this location would be one of the clues for the player to get there. Niko Bellic. Niko Bellic is the main protagonist of the game GTA 4, and the mystery lies in the fact that we don't know what happened to Niko after the story of GTA 4. It is believed that he is dead, but this theory crumbles when we see Niko Bellic present in GTA 5 through a Life Invader profile, which is the most famous social network in the game. Lester also mentions a man from Eastern Europe of Serbian origin who works in Liberty City, further fueling the idea that Niko is alive. However, one of the biggest pieces of evidence of this mystery is in the game's desert, where one of the houses located on the outskirts has a wanted poster with Niko Bellic's face, the same poster used to promote GTA 4 years ago with the caption "Niko Bellic alive or dead." This is still an unsolved mystery. To make the situation with Niko Bellic a little stranger, there is a location in Sandy Shores where we play darts and there is a pool table. Under the pool table there are several bloody footprints, and in the same bar there are clothes of Niko Bellic as well as a photo of Niko Bellic in GTA 4 using a tow truck, which really leaves the question, is he alive or did he end up dying? Some people say he is dead because when Trevor enters this bar for the first time to complete a mission, the bar owner tells Trevor that she doesn't want to see any more corpses in the bar. So some people have theorized that Trevor killed Niko Bellic in this bar and that those bloodstains on the floor, those footprints, are from when the fight happened. Even so, I prefer to continue believing that Niko is alive and that he may appear in a DLC or in some mention in GTA Online or GTA 6. The Infinity Killer. The Infinity Killer is one of the biggest mysteries and probably took the longest time for the GTA 5 community to solve due to a series of steps. The mystery revolves around Mural Abraham, a serial killer who murdered a total of 8 people and left clues all over the GTA 5 desert, helping us find the 8 bodies. Mural Abrahams died in prison in 2004 at the age of 57 and never confessed where the bodies were, which is why it remained a mystery that the entire GTA community started working to solve. To start, we have the location of Mural Abraham's house in Sandy Shores. The house is completely burnt and possibly destroyed by his neighbors, but what's interesting is that we can find the infinity symbol placed in all locations, along with a series of phrases written on the walls that give clues to go to different places on the map. Not far from this house, there is a rock in the desert with another phrase written by the killer, which is a lullaby that refers to his murders and his mental state. Again, nearby there is a destroyed cabin with a newspaper note nailed to the wall. In this note, they talk about the death of Mural Abrahams and his 8 victims. This note only serves to tell us a little more about the story of Mural Abrahams, but not where the victims' bodies are. The paper also says that Mural died in prison. So going to the final desert prison, we finally arrive at the place that helped solve the mystery, which is the prison where Mural was held. It is written on one of the walls of the desert prison that where water meets land and fire once again, there the infinite 8 will remain until he returns. Thanks to this writing and mainly a drawing next to it, mystery hunters realized that the bodies were under the ocean in GTA 5, a region full of islands, which is an image that can be seen right there. And finally, the 8 bodies could be found on some small islands at the top of the map. The bodies are wrapped and submerged in the water, and it is completely proven that these are indeed the 8 bodies that Mural killed and did not want to reveal the locations before he died. With that, this mystery was solved. Just like the mystery of the Mount Gordo ghost, upon completion, you don't earn any trophy or achievement. This was, in my opinion, one of the most well-crafted mysteries in the game, and one that I enjoyed solving the most. However, according to GTA Online and a few other things, it seems that Mural Abrahams was not the Infinity Killer, or he was not the only one, as in DLCs released later such as the Cayo Perico, we can see other inscriptions that suggest that this killer is still at large. We can see a message on the Merryweather submarine in the planning mission, and another message next to a sewer entrance, but this part could have been easily faked by a fan of this killer. To make it even more macabre, we can find 8 more bodies around the island, similar to the ones we find in Los Santos, suggesting that this killer claimed victims there as well. Another fact that supports the theory that there is another Infinity Killer is that in the newspaper found in Sandy Shores, it is written that Mural Abrahams admitted to killing 8 men. However, the bodies found are of women, which suggests that the men Mural Abrahams killed were never found, and that the bodies we find in the game may be of a partner of his that we never knew, or of a possible fan who is following in his footsteps. The abandoned house. In the middle of the Sandy Shores desert, there is a house that appears to be completely abandoned. There are no vehicles or pedestrians in this area. Besides the house having a very sinister look, not appearing very deteriorated, the myths surrounding this house suggest that there is a ghost, and strange sounds also come from this house. It is believed to be a person who was murdered inside the house and now their soul lives on, which is why we hear these strange noises. It is not possible to enter the house even with mods, as there are no textures inside. Even though the strange sounds are real in the game, no one has ever seen a ghost in this location. This is a little known mystery in the game, but it is still a mystery that I believe to be real and has not yet been solved. The house 1807, a little close to the border between Los Santos and the rural area, we can find a wall with the number 1807 written in blood and an arrow pointing to the left. If we decide to follow this arrow with the character, we can reach a nearby house that doesn't seem to have anything wrong, where there is usually a party going on with some people. But the strange thing here is that if the character bumps into any of these people, they will simply die as if that house were cursed in some way. Due to this being present in all versions of GTA 5, it is probably not a game bug, but rather a mystery or Easter egg that has never been discovered. Everything indicates that it is a mystery because the indication on the wall pointing to this house suggests that there is something here. Although we don't have an explanation, we have to agree that it is something very bizarre. The ghost dog is a real and also proven mystery in GTA 5. Throughout the main story, for some very strange reason, Franklin will end up encountering a dog. Everything indicates that Franklin can talk to this dog and they can understand each other perfectly. This dog will end up guiding Franklin to a guy who just parachuted and landed in a tree so that Franklin can help him out. The mystery begins here with the fact that as soon as we arrive and talk to a guy stuck in the tree about the dog that supposedly belongs to him, the guy says he doesn't have any dog. It's then that Franklin turns to look and realizes that the dog has simply disappeared disappeared. We don't see him in the main story until later in a mission we do for the same guy. The same dog will warn us that the guy with the parachute is in danger and we must help him. This time we can follow the dog, but he doesn't go anywhere specific. When we find the guy, we see him hanging on the rails near the dam, about to jump without fear or remorse. He ends up jumping without a parachute and dies right there. It's possible that the dog is some kind of guardian angel or ghost that tried all along to help us save this guy. There is a website with a mysterious photo of a family standing next to a dog that looks a lot like a ghost dog. If we click on the button below that says play as a god, another photo will appear of all the family members, including the dog dead in a car accident. Myth hunters ensure that this is the ghost dog that Franklin was talking to. This dog seeks to help others from not committing crazy or dangerous acrobatic acts, just like the accident that caused his death and the death of the family that took care of him. This is probably the origin of the ghost dog. Draw your own conclusion. Level 4, Black Cell Phones. This is a very strange mystery in GTA 5. It's about calling the number with any character. On your phone, you will see the name Black Cell Phones written, and there will be an explosion above the character's head. After the explosion, which does not cause any damage, you will see that your phone has turned completely black, and the background image of the phone has also turned black. This may not be enough to believe that there is a mystery surrounding this number, but to make the situation a little stranger, if you call this number from the top of the Rebel radio, you may notice that after the explosion there will be a very strange interference, hinting that this is part of a mystery that has not yet been solved. The secret webs. During the game, in a very peculiar way, we can find two drawings that seem to be spider webs with no explanation at all. These webs appear in two locations on the map. The first location on the map is under the cable car frame of Mount Chiliad. If you come here exactly at that time, which is after 1 AM, and in order for it to appear, you cannot be looking at the spot where it will appear. As soon as it hits 1 AM, you look to the other side of the map and then come back and you will see this web. The same thing happens a little closer exactly in this part of the map. Following the same requirements, you will be able to see this web, and after 2 AM, if you turn the camera and look back, the web will have disappeared without any explanation. The Mountain Cross. The Mountain Cross is a mystery that was initially little known and over time gained quite a bit of attention, as some people began to believe that it was the grave of CJ, the protagonist of GTA San Andreas. It is a mysterious grave located on the side of the game map, very close to the lighthouse. Its exact location is not marked on the map. As players explored the game further, myth hunters started to believe that this grave belonged to the mother of one of the girlfriends that we can date in the game, Ursula. When we encounter Ursula and give her a ride in a random event, we can see that she has mental disorders, as she herself recounts that her mother tortured her by locking her in the basement and that she had a miserable childhood, dressing like a boy and shaving her head regularly, as it seems her mother never truly wanted her and wished she had been born a boy instead of a girl. Ursula mentions that sometime later her mother died under unknown circumstances, and she also reveals that she still keeps her mother's hair in her backpack. She also tells us that her gardener fell off a cliff under strange circumstances, and she also mentions that another person who gave her a ride died from self-suffocation, meaning the person suffocated themselves. All these clues led mystery hunters to think that Ursula herself killed her mother and the other two people because it seems she suffers from schizophrenia. Additionally, the places Ursula usually frequents are mountainous regions, just like where we first encounter her, adding to the fact of the grave with the cross being very close to Ursula's house. Based on all the evidence, even without direct confirmation, it is believed that the grave with the cross belongs to Ursula's mother. Agents in satellite dishes. In the desert satellite dishes, there is a real and proven mystery in GTA 5. For some reason, between 10 AM and 5 PM, every day in the game's desert, under some satellite dishes, you may encounter some scientists or government agents investigating these dishes. In the first version of GTA 5, FIB agents and scientists appeared. From the first remaster of the game on PlayStation 4 onwards, only scientists are found in this location with white vehicles. It is not really known why these people are here, but not far from there, also in a small house with a large satellite dish, you can find more agents guarding the house for no apparent reason. Additionally, if you stand next to these agents, you will automatically acquire a wanted star. Part of the community believes that this mystery is directly linked to extraterrestrial activity, as the dishes point directly towards Fort Zancudo base, where there is a UFO above. Furthermore, it is also believed that the dishes produce radio interference when you drive near them at night. Undoubtedly, it is a very interesting mystery that some people have said was also solved in GTA Online. In my point of view, this mystery has not yet been resolved. The Allseeing Eye. The Allseeing Eye is a powerful conspiracy theory that encompasses everything in GTA 5, where in this mystery it is believed that the entire state of San Andreas is being watched and controlled by aliens or Illuminati deity. This is because the eye is present in practically every part of the game map. It is drawn on the ground on the mural of Mount Chiliad in some areas of the city, at the Galileo Observatory when we observe the shadow, in Franklin's house, in Lester's house, and in one of the government security services widely used in GTA Online, which is Securo Serve. This All-Seeing Eye apparently monitors all activity in San Andreas in GTA 5, and to this day it is not exactly known who this person, ET or Master would be. Some say that the mastermind behind this are aliens as well as some other person, even more superior than the aliens themselves. A mystery that gives a lot to think about and that has not yet been solved is the All-Seeing Eye, or are they just references scattered throughout the map? The Bleeding House? The Bleeding House is a small haunting mystery known from GTA 5, which can be checked by anyone right now. It is a house located in the city of Los Santos, which for some reason if you shoot at the windows of this house, they will bleed. This bleeding effect only occurs with these specific windows, as if you shoot at other windows of the same house, this effect will not be reproduced. The Bleeding House only exists in this area and there is no explanation for it. It is believed to be due to a game error with textures, but it has not been confirmed, as if it were an error it would have been fixed in remasters or DLCs long ago, like several game phenomena that existed in the early versions and no longer exist. So this suggests that there really is a mystery behind this house, as if there had been some murder or assassination that left this house haunted. The Red Arrows? The Red Arrows are an interesting mystery, or basically a curiosity located in the game's desert, where you can find some red arrows in certain locations on the map. They are graffitied with humanoid or extraterrestrial figures, and on the ground of one of them we can even find the All-Seeing Eye symbol. These arrows mark a pattern or an exact path to follow in the desert. If we follow all the clues perfectly, the arrows will lead us to an abandoned motel near Alamo Sea. The motel has a large arrow pointing downwards, indicating that this is the end of the journey. The arrow says office, and just below it we can enter an abandoned motel room where we won't be able to find anything related to these arrows, as the community has speculated. Some believe that these arrows are pointing to the room, and the room is a reference to an existing room in Silent Hill 4 because of the deterioration and other similar things, but they believe that there might be a mission there, and these arrows would help you uncover the mystery behind this motel. Level 6, the global tsunamis. The tsunamis is a little known conspiracy theory that originated on a Reddit forum. This theory fully covers all GTAs. Apparently the most accurate test can be found in the barbershops of GTA 5, where in one of these barbershops we can see a world map. If you stop to look closely, you will see that many countries have been consumed by water according to this map. Originally it was believed to be a map texture error, but later a page was found in the game, the same page where we see the ghost dog, a map of an unknown city. If we press a button called Play as a God, we can see how the entire island or city is destroyed by water, just like the world map we saw earlier. According to the theory, this is why several cities in the United States in the GTA universe are surrounded by water and separated from each other, like Liberty City, Vice City, and San Andreas, which are some of the few cities that still seem to remain normal in the United States. Additionally, there is also a painting in some barbershops that is a bit hidden, where you can clearly see Los Santos being flooded, suffering from a tsunami. This could be a photo from the past or the future, but what makes it even stranger is that looking at this photo and going to the location where we would supposedly have the same view as the photo, in other words, where the photo was taken, we can see a lot of trash on this mountain, trash ranging from sewage and the beach to the sea. In addition, among this trash we can see a coral, which should basically only exist underwater. This implies that the tsunami has already occurred in this city, and that's why the state of San Andreas is surrounded by water, as everything around it became submerged. This is the conspiracy theory that tries to make sense of why the GTA maps don't have cities around them and only water. From my point of view, it's a theory that makes some good points. All the cities in GTA are islands, none of them have anything around them, and from the perspective of this tsunami and the things that were placed in this order, I think it would make a little sense for Rockstar to explain why all the cities are isolated from each other, but I would like to hear your opinion. The characters in GTA 5 represent their personality. Well, the theory that the characters in GTA 5 represent personality circulates on the internet in some forums and tells us that each of the protagonists in GTA 5 are actually based on how GTA players have their personalities or how they act. If that's the case, Michael would represent a bank heist specialist, meaning he is a GTA Saga expert who retired, that is, stopped playing for a while, and now he is going back to playing the GTA franchise, meaning he returned to work. Trevor would represent the same experience as Trevor, but the difference is that he is a crazy maniac causing a lot of destruction. So he would be the representation of players who only cause chaos in the city with weapons and explosions, attracting police attention at any moment and for no reason. And finally, Franklin would be an ambitious young man eager to experience the world. He would represent GTA players who are still getting familiar with this franchise or saga and trying to become a professional in this world. According to this theory, which personality do you identify with? GTA 5 takes place in an alternate reality. To understand this theory, we need to look at something in real life, the 1933 conspiracy in the United States. To better understand this conspiracy, we have to go back to that year and see a true story where we can see that a group of millionaires joined forces to orchestrate a coup in 1933 and overthrow the government of that time, which was under the command of President Roosevelt. This coup was a failure in real life and very little is remembered about this case. The issue here is that the theory of 1933, according to this community or the people who believe it, is that in the GTA universe, this coup actually succeeded. The reasons why they believe the coup succeeded in the GTA universe in this alternate reality is that if this coup had succeeded in real life, laws would have been enacted that would lead to rampant consumption, where people would be compelled to spend all their money in favor of the companies that would currently own the country. They could control all the people in the country through subliminal messages that encourage them to spend. It's a reality where corporate companies release apps where people post things about their personal lives. Furthermore, in GTA 5, the goal of the game is to become a millionaire at all costs, where extreme capitalism has flourished, and the game itself tells us that the main objective throughout the story is to make money at all costs. Technological singularity is the biggest conspiracy theory of all GTA games because it basically encompasses all the games in a theory that tells us about the future, with a post-apocalyptic event that will happen one day in the history of GTA where machines will end up taking control of the world and enslaving humanity. This theory gains even more strength in GTA 5 after the GTA Online DLC, where the artificial intelligence Clifford ends up rebelling against humans and tells us that we will be enslaved and that it will destroy everyone, and the machines will take over the world. Since GTA Vice City histories, this theory has been talked about thanks to the robots that appeared in that game, since they were very advanced for the time, even for the time the game was set in. They appear in some games and claim that machines will dominate the world. That's why this technological singularity theory is the biggest and deepest mystery in my point of view of all the GTAs. There are even radio links where supposedly robots were already starting to enslave humanity, in addition to giving clear signs that they are rebelling or will rebel. It's bizarre to see the amount of mysteries that are little known by people, even though GTA 5 has been released for 12 years. Besides mysteries, there are curious and other absurd secrets that this game still hides. Click here next to the yellow arrow to subscribe to the channel. I'm sure you will like it, and after that, click on the video appearing on the final screen to discover 30 secrets and curiosities about GTA 5 missions. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Success, hug, and thanks.